Hello, hello, and welcome to Halloween New York Times Sudoku hard puzzle for October 31st. So it starts off a little not very promising, because if we try to find candidates for 1, there aren't any. If we try to find candidates for 2, there aren't any. If we try to find candidates for 3, well, here we have a little bit of luck. That's about it. If we try to find candidates for 4, we have about as much luck as we did for our 3s. How about candidates for 5? So here we know 5 goes one of those in that row. Anything else for 5? Boop. Boop. No. How about candidates for 6? Okay, between this one and this one, we have this as our candidate. So then between that column and this column and this one, we have this as our candidates. So a little bit better. But, zook, zook. Okay, between this one and this one, we have these. Okay, how about candidates for 7? Between these two, we know that 7 is one of these in this column. And unfortunately, right now, that's all we've got for our 7s. How about candidates for 8s? Not a lot for 8 either. And how about candidates for 9? And now, between this one and this one, here and here, we know 9 is in this corner. What else do we have? Between this one and this one, we have this, which is a beautiful block out, which feels really good. And we also know actually between this one and this one that we have 9. Now a couple things are going on here. That means that this cannot be 9, so 9 has to be here, 8 has to be here. Going back to these two, we have 2 numbers and 2 squares, so that makes it exclusive, so 7 can't go there, which leaves that as the only spot for 7. All right, it's just too obvious. I can't pass it by. Between the 7, that means we have a 7 candidate here, and between this row and this row and this one, we have a 7 candidate here. Okay, going back to our 9s. We have this 9 and this 9 and this 9, making this, which is a very nice exclusivity. And 9. I think that is all we can put on the boards right now for 9. So let's go back really quickly and just check to see if our 1. So again, these two are exclusive for 6 and 9, which means between this one and this one, the only place where 1 can be is there, which means between this one and this one, we have 1s as our candidate here, which means 5 cannot go here because of exclusivity. And then we have this one and this one, which means that this top row has to be 1s. Okay, let's go back and do our 2s. So this here is exclusive to 1 and 4, so it can't be anything else. So between this 2 and this 2, that means that these are 2s. So between this column being blocked for 2 and this 2, puts that there. What other fun things do we have for 2? I think that's it right now. So let's check our 3s. Ooh, check it out. 3 goes here, which means these are exclusive for 3. Since 7 and 3, 7, 3 are exclusive, the only other number left are 5s. Which means, take a look at the square below it. So if this column already has 5s, that square can't be 5. So this square must be 5. Can't be 5, and there we have a 5 there. Beautiful. What else do we have or possibly have? Okay, between this 3, we know this row already has 3. Means 3's are somewhere there. And between this 3 and the fact that these rows are already 3, and this is blocked out, so these can't be 3 because of this row. These can't be 3 because of this, so 3 goes here, which means this can't be 3. The only one left is there, which means between that one and that one, we have another beautiful exclusivity here. What else we have? All right, I think that's all we got for 3's. All we have for 3's, if we want to use proper English. Ooh, we have an empty square here, so we know it can't be a 1, a 2, a 3, or 4, a 5, a 6, a 7, so this one has to be an 8. And that also means between this 8 and this 8, we have a nice little grouping of 8 there. Ooh, and between this 8 and this 8, we also have a nice little 8 candidate there. Okay. Is that where we were? I feel like I'm missing something. Yes, because between this 6 and this 6, that leaves only that square for 6, because again, these are exclusive to 7 and 9. So this one cannot be 6. We have a 6 there. And between this 6 and this 6, we have a 6 here, which means this cannot be 6, which puts it there. All right, so, and then between this one, and this one, oh, I have a little kitty who's giving me some loving. Oh, it's fabulous. Okay. 7. Here we go. This 7, so 7 can't be here. So for this square, 7 has to be somewhere in the middle, which means this column already has 7, so that can't be 7. So we put a 7 here and a 9 here. Which also means between this 9 and this 9, candidates for 9 here, meaning that cannot be a 9. So we know 9 has to, oopsie, we know 9 has to go here. Oops, and 6 has to go there. My fingers aren't working. Which means this cannot be our 6, and this is. And there we are with our 6. Oops, I totally missed this. You guys weren't screaming at me. This can't be a 9. So here goes our 9, which leaves this as our 3. Can't be 3, so this is our 3. So that leaves one square here, 1, 2, 3, and that is going to be a 4. And between this 4 and this 4, that leaves this one as a 4. And that leaves this square, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 2, 3, so the only things it can be are a 2 or 8, 2 or 8. Beautiful. Oh, but we know 8. Remember these guys? This can't actually be an 8. So 8's got to go down here, and a 2 has to go up here, which means between this 2 and this 2, this one is our 2. And then the only one missing is our 5, so we can fill in our 5 there. Gorgeous. All right. We are moving right along, aren't we? What else can we look at for fun? Well, when in doubt, let's start again at 1s. All right, not seeing many 1s. How about 2s? Oh, between this one and this one, we have a 2 here. And then between this 2 and this 2, this is a 2, which means this is a 2, and this is a 5. Which means between this 5 and this 5, we have a 5 here. So the only thing, oh, and between this 5, this then cannot be a 5 The only thing it can be is 1. This has to be our 5, and then this has to be our 8. So between this 8 and this 8, we have our 8 candidates here. This one can't go there, so we have a 1 here, 2, 3, and this is going to be our 4. So between this 4 and this 4, we have a 4. This one makes this 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're left with a 5. We have an empty square here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Which means cross out our 8 here, our 8 goes down here. We also cross out our 8 here, so our 8 goes here. Now we just fill in. We have an empty square here, which is going to be a 1. Loop. Okay. Which means 1. We also, between these two 4s, have a 4 here. So if you look at this row, this cannot be a 4. This could be a 4. This cannot be a 4, and this cannot be a 4. So the only place in this row to be a 4 is this one. And then let's look in the square. So between this 2 and this 2, we have a 2 here, leaving a 4 here, which means 4, 1, which means 1, 7, which means 7 and 3. And, oh, here, this can't be 2, so our 2 goes up here, and the only thing that can be this for this row, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And the only thing missing here is our 3. And that leaves 3 and 7. And there we go. Happy Halloween. I hope you guys had a great